Welcome to the Bestie Perspective, a raw, unfiltered space where we explore the mind, body, spirit connection. Every week, we dive into personal growth, holistic healing, and life's ups and downs to inspire, support, and remind you you're never alone on this journey. The holidays bring so much connection, nostalgia, celebration, and sometimes chaos. But what if this year, instead of bracing ourselves for the stress and the drama, we learn to move through it with grace, awareness, and gratitude? In this episode, we're exploring how to navigate family dynamics, care for your mental health through the darker months, and find light, even when the season feels heavy. So, in the spirit of the holiday season arriving, it is November, so Thanksgiving is on the horizon. All of the holidays are on the horizon and New Year's celebrations. For most of us, that means time with family is on the horizon too. And if you're anything like the majority of families nowadays, there is dysfunction, even if it's just a little bit. So, I think the stories I hear the most are like politics have become off limits at all family functions. Like it is not allowed at the table.
Yep. My mom will prep my dad. Like, now remember, we're going over there. No politics.
Right. It's like sometimes people have to be reminded they do not believe what you believe. Do not try to make this a debate. Tonight is not the time or place.
Yes.
But I think that's a perfect example of setting those boundaries ahead of time, which is so important to do going into situations like this. If you know you have experienced boundaries being crossed in the past, do not expect other people to change for you. Unfortunately, Aunt Linda may say something asking you if you've thought about trying Weight Watchers or Ozempic.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Just little stuff, it's funny. You could go about your everyday life and your healing journey and think you're all good. And then someone distant in your family who you're not even that close to can say one little thing. And it strikes a nerve and gets under your skin so easy.
That's right.
Damn, I thought I was further than this.
They know that exact button to push.
Yeah. Or
doesn't matter.
If you haven't seen a certain relative for a long time and you show up, let's say after a breakup or something, and then you're like, oh, where's Jonathan? Like, yeah, about that. And then you got to explain and you got to relive the hurt. And I can see that being tough too.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Then, even for me, someone with kids, I feel like, they haven't seen you and the parenting critique comes out.
Ooh, that's a
How
good one.
How is your daughter doing with this or with that? Or, oh, well, I do it this way. I do it that. They definitely want to know how things are going with your child. But
right.
Then that one statement where it's like, yeah, she's fine. We're actually going to keep doing it our way kind of a feeling.
I know exactly what you mean. I've had experiences like that where, I don't have kids, but I hear the narrative with other people in my family who have kids. Well, I don't know why you're so tired all the time. I used to have energy and I would make myself do this stuff all the time, or just kind of not acknowledging that specific person's needs, or maybe asking them, are you okay? Or being a little bit empathetic about it. Just kind of putting an energy toward it that says, what's wrong with you? I never had that problem.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. And just overall, I feel that on social media and through friends and even just in general, I think I hear a lot about people talking about inadequacies being pointed out, to just kind of go with what you were just saying, where a lot of people are like, I don't want to do this family thing, or oh, this holiday's coming up and I just know so and so is gonna point out this or point out that. And it's making people not want to go see their family because they don't want to be reminded of, quote, not being good enough.
Sure. Yeah. But then it even makes me think of, okay, inadequacies in your political views, your parenting, your relationship, whatever it may be. But then there's other more logistical things I think that causes drama, like sleeping arrangements for people that travel.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And for me, kitchen dynamics is a huge factor around the holidays too. What do you guys think about those two I just brought up?
Ooh, those are good.
I have a family member who is so allergic to cats, cannot be in a house for longer than a few hours where there's cats because she suffers. She gets puffy eyes, itchy, stuffy, like starts to feel very sick. And so she cannot stay over at their house. And of course, it kind of breaks their heart. They say, oh, but I wish you could stay here. But it's a personal boundary for like their health and well-being. But even if it wasn't allergies, even if it was just an emotional, like I can only have a dose of this person, so therefore I'm going to stay in a hotel instead, even though they have an open bed for me. Sometimes that's the most appropriate thing to do for your own sanity.
Yeah,
but I also feel like I've heard even that, even in areas of my own family, that has stirred up a little drama too, because then it turns into, well, why don't you want to stay with us? We have an open room. Why are you going to stay at a hotel? And then it's like, do you really want to hear the truth?
Yeah, Becky, maybe I want to get jiggy with it and you don't listen.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I can relate to some of that. And even just another sleeping arrangement thing I think about is, well, who gets which bed?
Exactly.
Like if there's a better bed or a
right,
a more superior bed.
Which I love this. My in-laws kind of give the best bedroom with room for the baby to the person with the youngest kid, which I think that's fair. It's the best access of the house. And when you have a baby, you know, you need that. So I think that that's fair. And it's now my time, you guys.
It's your time.
Eileen gets the best bedroom.
But yeah, it's like you don't want the air mattress in the basement, right?
Yeah. Or even like queen versus full versus king. You know, there's a little bed debate.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you were mentioning the kitchen, I was thinking about how I know like some stuff I've witnessed is some people are busting ass in the kitchen and then other people aren't doing anything. And then there's this whole like, oh, can you believe so-and-so didn't even offer to help? Or, you know, that kind of drama gets woven. Or you have somebody who's super, super controlling. And like that brings a whole Gordon Ramsay energy into the kitchen, you know?
Oh, I've had a wooden board and a block of cheese kind of chucked at me like, here, chop something up. And like, oh, cool. I can't wait to help you again next year. Like it almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have an aversion for helping certain people in the kitchen when they're rude to me enough times like that. It's like, I'm going to stay away. Because in my upbringing, my mother was the kitchen was her place, man. And there was fun and love and laughter. And I wanted to see what she was doing. And I wanted to help when I was little. And we would dance to music and stuff. So to see someone stressed out and barking at you for help, it actually makes me want to not offer. So I will get to a point where it's like, you can judge me for not helping because I'm not used to trying to help in that kind of stressful environment.
For sure. I can see that.
In that case, if you're hosting, I feel like you can hope for the best, but you certainly should not expect people to go out of their way to help you. Because think about one thing I thought of when you guys were talking about sleeping arrangements. Some of the stuff that contributes to people not showing up as their best is the sleep. You're traveling. Maybe you're sleeping in a different bed, not
different time zone.
Different time zones. And so maybe someone really just needs that 30-minute nap on the couch or something. Just let it be. Like, do
Yeah.
not expect the help.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I feel like I try to go in with a plan and then it's just a bonus if I'm offered help.
Yeah.
On that note, Lauren, you actually reminded me of this the other day when we had a conversation on the theme of expectations, losing any expectations you have for other people and how it can be so freeing, you know?
Yes, definitely. I did a program after my life coaching program. And one of the things that was taught to us was approaching life with no expectations for a week, challenging ourselves. And this can go into so many things. And I think to relate it to the family stuff here, when you think about the holiday coming up with your family, pay attention to what you start thinking about. Are you already thinking, oh, so and so is going to be, treating me like this, and so and so is going to
Yes.
be bringing up that, and this and this and this and this. And usually it's negative things, but challenge yourself to say, what if I went in with no expectations? I know that this stuff has happened in the past, but what if I just went in without expecting anything good or bad?
I like that.
And just went in with like a clean slate, basically, right? I was telling Hannah, I like to take it even one step further and ask a question that I know Eileen and I have talked about before. How good can it get?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had situations like this myself where maybe I start feeling these expectations bubbling up and I go, whoa, 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 wait. I want to go into this with no expectations, but also, how good can it get? This could be the best visit we ever have. Or what if we blossom in our connection with each other with a certain person, or what if I learned something I never knew before, So I like to play with it even a step further. But listeners, if you're interested, I challenge you to approach the holidays this season with no expectations and see how it goes.
That's great. If anything, I've even done like a full-on heart chakra meditation on the drive up to the holiday festivities just to make sure that I am open to the good. If I catch myself already assuming those negative thoughts and assuming these character traits are going to pop up and ruin my time, I will have to pause and be like, whoa, wait. How would I like it to go? What do I want to happen? And so I do like the idea of trying to have no expectations, but when I'm already in the negative expectations, then I will push myself to try and expect positive. And then if I'm disappointed, it's another thing, but at least I was aiming for the good.
Yeah, and putting that energy into your focus instead of the negative.
It's like you notice the negative and you bring it back in and you say, okay, I realize I'm being negative here and expecting the worst. And then you're choosing what you want to add back and being really intentional about what you want to add back. Like, I know, Lauren, you talked about having some really fun plans for the kids that will be at the holidays this year. And, even just being able to bring something creative into the mix, or, oh, am I going to bring a football this year? Maybe we'll go outside and get active. That's a great way to even get rid of stress and anxiety. Move your body. Who wants to go on a walk with me after dinner? Or if we need fresh air, say there's politics happening, anyone that needs a white flag, come this way.
Or even bringing a fun game.
Yes.
Or I love that. Just something fun and refreshing. I think it's an important life lesson in general. But when we realize that we can't, quote, change people, right? We can decide how we want to show up and the energy that we want to bring to a situation. So why not bring the fun? Why not bring the party with you? And go in there with that, because oftentimes, even to take your political example, if we've had things getting a little political, you can choose not to even entertain that.
Yeah.
And just decide to pursue your fun. And it can really change the dynamics for the good.
But then you're setting up your identity as someone who cannot be bothered. They are going to stay in their good place no matter what happens. I'm
Yeah.
unmovable. I am not going to be shifted out of this wonderful space that I am bringing forward to my friends and family. Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry, but you ain't going to get me this time.
Yes. And, I think it's important to acknowledge it's another way of boundary setting as well. Like deciding you don't want to have negative conversations, have political conversations, whatever it might be, is a boundary. So it's okay to
Yeah,
honor that. And it's not disrespectful to not continue with that conversation. It
for
is
sure.
honoring yourself with that boundary.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest fears I've always had about setting boundaries is coming off as a bitch or like mean, or I might rub somebody the wrong way by having a boundary. And you know what? They might have that perception. I can't control how they perceive me. But at the end of the day, if it's going to ruin the potential of me making new fun memories, it's not worth it to me to compromise that.
Hmm.
But making boundaries, you don't really necessarily have to have that fear, because you don't have to sound like a bitch. You don't have to
Hmm.
say, we're not doing that right now
Right.
because blah, blah, blah. You don't have to have the attitude behind it. You can control how you react with your boundary and just staying calm and grounded and in the identity, like Eileen was saying.
Yes.
And I will add to that and even say that you may be choosing a better option in your mind. The not being a bitch and outright being rude, the better option may be to walk away. And that person may find that rude, and that's not on you. That's where if you are in such a state that you can't say good morning, or you just really need to just go walk down the street for whatever, walk the dog or something, have an excuse, go get air, and somebody finds that rude because you're not engaging with them, or because you're not, cutting up vegetables for the salad or whatever. If your intention is to create peace for yourself, so you're going to show up better, whatever that is, then that's what you have to hold on to. We can't base it on how someone else is going to take your reaction, especially when you're intentionally choosing the better option.
Yes.
Exactly. If you're someone who has anxiety and ruminates on the future and all of the what ifs, I caution you on doing this piece I'm about to share, but I don't know. You decide if you feel like it is worthwhile to you. I was going to share advice on, as far as boundaries go, decide ahead of time what you are and are not willing to talk about or tolerate. That is going to give you the best chance at success in keeping those boundaries, just so you have a clear idea. It's not gray in your head. And then you can also think about, even if you know there's like a 95% chance that someone is going to say something about your relationship status or your weight or politics or something, you can decide ahead of time, like dialogue that feels good to you, that feels grounded. Practice breathing deeply with that, so that when you have to use it in real time, it almost feels more comfortable because you've already rehearsed it. But that's where I caution, like if you have anxiety and tend to ruminate, don't ruminate on that, thinking too far in the future. But it can be helpful, at least for someone like me. I feel comfortable if I have a backup that I know I feel comfortable saying when it comes to boundary setting.
I think that's a great point you made, Hannah. And even just using that as a little exercise, like you said beforehand, to kind of sit with it, have a dialogue you feel comfortable with, especially if you know that something is going to be brought up around a certain topic. I think I'm also one of those people who feels comfortable having a little bit of a plan. So thanks for sharing that.
Another little seasoning added into the mix of family drama is, if you happen to have seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression sprinkled into the mix, it makes navigating the holidays that much harder. So we just want to say we feel you and hear you and see you. You may be struggling with the shorter days when maybe you are stuck at work a lot of the time and not getting much time outside. Or maybe it comes with a lot of grief because you have loved ones who are no longer here to share the holidays with you. Maybe that's contributing. There's so many things that contribute to the seasonal depression, but I also just felt a call to kind of normalize that for the season of winter and the seasons of life that people go through. I feel like the seasons on earth are very symbolic to that. Like maybe you are really hard on yourself for going through a time where you feel more dormant, but winter is very much about going inward and exploring, self reflecting, and preparing for new growth in spring. So,
Right.
even just looking at it like that
Yeah.
in a spiritual sense can kind of lighten the load a little bit, and knowing that there is light on the other side.
Beautiful.
I like that.
There's other things that contribute to that too. I know something I've talked about with my mom is with her job in particular, the year end is always so stressful. There are things
Yeah.
that happen at the end of the year, deadlines, by making sure everyone has gifts, financial strain. There's things that contribute to emotional lows, even if it's not full on seasonal depression. If you have like winter blues, quote unquote, you know, when it comes to the actual holiday events or get togethers, it doesn't mean your emotions are always going to match what they should be
Yeah,
for the
sure.
season.
Yeah.
So I think just giving yourself grace for that and letting yourself feel what you feel. And if you have to say no to an event for your own sanity, just say no. Say
Yeah.
no.
It's true. For those emotional pressures, like it makes me think about even just someone putting pressure on themselves to have that quote unquote perfect holiday.
Yeah.
Sometimes there have been so many times I've seen my mom or whoever the head of household is of any event just weigh themselves down by wanting to make sure everything goes according to plan. And it's beautiful intention. You want everyone to have a perfect holiday, but you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, take a load off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask for help.
Then there's the old conflicts resurfacing. You haven't seen someone in a while, and then it's like, and if you're just not ready to have that interaction again, that's where, yeah, we have to listen to what Hannah said and just decline the event. Who says you have to go? But that's where I think people do care and worry about other people's reactions. They're going to get offended if I don't go. They're going to, maybe, but then in those times, you put yourself first, your priority.
It might sound cheesy, but my favorite remedy is gratitude.
Mm,
Not in a toxically positive way. Definitely always encourage people to feel all of those feels. If you're going through the depression, work through it, feel all of the feels, but it can be really great at breaking some of those negative cycles, whether it's coming from anxiety or depression, because it's training your brain to actively seek out and work against the grain in a way to you're used to thinking negatively. It's naturally wired in our brain to seek out the negative as a survival mechanism in a sense.
sure.
And so looking for the positives, retraining and looking for the positive and putting your focus elsewhere. And that's where the mood improvement and well being comes from. And it reduces depression and anxiety in that way.
And that makes me think about people who really have some big things going on, like the loss of a loved one and dealing with grief. And so the absence of that loved one is it's highlighted a little bit more, it's just stronger around the holidays, right? Or someone who's overseas or something, military or anything like that, where they're feeling isolated and they're feeling lonely because they're not home for the holidays. That's where they may have to work a little harder and try to find reasons to be grateful, to feel that gratitude.
And that's where I just really feel that it is so important to feel everything Don't exclude certain emotions just because you should feel grateful for all that you have, or you should feel happy and joyous because 'tis the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just not fair to yourself. And also, on a side note, you can feel multiple emotions at once. You can feel the sadness from grief, and you can feel the gratitude and joy from watching your little ones on their first Christmas gathering with their family, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I would like to take this moment to just plug the Power of Feeling Everything episode. So
Yes.
if this is an area you think you need a little more assistance on, check out that episode, The Power of Feeling Everything.
Yes, that one was so good. And I feel like you learn a lot about the three of us in that episode. We get pretty deep in that one.
Yes.
What about feeling the pressures of finances? You have gifts and
Oh, yeah.
decorations and all kinds of things to buy.
All right. It's not only, especially if you're hosting on top of it, it's not only all the food, all the alcohol, all the drinks. It's the gifts for everyone and the decorations for sure. I think that's a great point.
Or traveling costs for other people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And even having to take off work could be another financial piece if they don't have PTO or whatever the case.
Or if they're banking on like an end of year bonus that never comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough. So I love using gratitude as an antidote for most of these things because, well, at least it brings some balance back into the situation. Going to those holiday gatherings, even just being mindful of how much time, money, energy, and thought that the host has put into the gathering
Mm-hmm.
automatically levels up your gratitude for being there like 10 times. If you really think deeply enough about it and sit with it and feeling the gratitude. And if you struggle feeling connected to your emotions, again, go listen to The Power of Feeling Everything. But even if you struggle to feel your emotions and connect with those feelings in your body and your heart, just playing creatively in your mind, imagining what gratitude feels like, because you can create that feeling within you. You have to believe it, and it will happen. Expressing gratitude to others through words, actions, and gifts is always acceptable around the holidays, especially through gifts. But even if you don't have the money or it's especially straining for you financially, like Eileen had just brought up, thinking about other ways that you would like to show gratitude to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like cooking something for them versus going out and buying a gift.
Even making something like arts and crafts, or
Arts
even
and crafts.
writing a letter, or if you're even more creatively inclined, writing a poem or, something sweet. Doesn't
I
always
love
have to
that.
cost money to do a nice gesture, right?
I mean, we're not going to have popsicle sticks and red pom-poms and do Rudolph or anything like that at this age. But I know we all did that for our parents at school for the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the holidays, if you really want to keep on practicing gratitude, these are great ways, but you can, volunteer your time to help others. You can keep a gratitude journal and write down a few things you're grateful for every day or every so often. And even spending time outside in nature or meditating and practicing mindfulness to help you connect with those emotions. But yeah, time in nature, I think especially sticks out to me because it's so easy for me to look at something outside and say, and just kind of be in awe about it and appreciate the beauty. And that practice alone just helps me notice all of the little things in life that I'm grateful for and brings more positive thinking into my life. What other thoughts do you guys have? This is a really short but sweet episode.
Well, I was thinking about the gratitude practice and what we could actually do. Do you ladies have any examples of it during the chaos of the holidays? Because for me, if like I'm in something chaotic in the holidays, I actually would have to step away, go outside, even if it's cold. We're talking winter, and I love tropical weather. But if anything,
Yes.
I'm usually having to step away from even just the noise. It could just be a bunch of chatter and everyone laughing, and it's just a lot. And even that can just be overstimulating and overwhelming. So for me, I just step away and would do something mindfulness, meditative, something like that. I'm curious what you guys would do.
Even just finding those intimate moments, even when the house is crowded, if I can find an intimate moment with like one or two of my cousins or any of my family members I haven't seen in a while, just catching up with them and really kind of inquiring about the things in their life that they seem excited to talk about. And I think just having and building on that social connection makes me feel really grateful. And even if it gets to the point of like sharing my gratitude to them directly, I feel like that helps me. But also, if there is chaos going on, even if I'm able to connect with them over that, if all of us are the ones throwing up the white flag and saying like, okay, I get it. Like we've got each other's backs. Like, don't worry about that. We're still going to have a good time. I think finding your partners and if it feels like a war zone or something.
Where's my ally? Who is my ally in this situation?
Yes. I'm thinking, I think for me, I like to do a little bit of like a zoom out approach. Because sometimes I've been in situations where maybe no one's directly talking to me, right? But I'm sitting in, the family room or around a table and conversations happening. And I like to kind of do a zoom out where I kind of just step away from the situation and have the gratitude that we can all even be in the same room together. Whether people travel to be there in any capacity, but even just like with how busy our world is nowadays, it is hard to even get on the phone with somebody, let alone get in the same room with them.
True.
So I like to zoom out and appreciate, even if even if somebody's having a heated political conversation, it's like, I'm just grateful we can be in the room together to even like have this conversation.
To even hear Uncle Greg's political backlash, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah. So I think I like to zoom out and think about just how grateful I am for everybody to be together and be in each other's space. And food is always a huge thing for me and brings me a sense of comfort being able to share that with others. So I think especially being around a dinner table and everyone's sharing food and just feeling the connectedness that brings me a lot of gratitude.
That's so sweet.
I love the feeling of gratitude for the upcoming holiday in seeing other people's posts on social media about how they get ready for it. Just seeing, even just whether it's someone on TikTok making something amazing, it looks delicious, or the decorating of your house for Halloween or whatever it is, Christmas, and just all of that starts to get me excited. Just getting in the season, I feel that energy and that build up there. And I feel like my intentions for positive, healthy, joyous interactions for the holidays start pretty early with those types of things that I see on social media. What about you guys?
It definitely, I feel like, builds that hype. Once I start seeing things, I'm like, ooh, it starts giving me the holiday tingles.
The holiday tingles.
You guys should see Lauren with this prep for her Halloween party. It is so amazing.
I'm so excited.
If you ask me, I think in Lauren's family, the holiday season starts on October 31st.
Like the Christmas holiday season, you mean? Or
like the holiday, like that whole jumbled up season. Like it comes a little bit earlier for you guys.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I guess so. I'm curious how we differ in our holiday prep in that regard when it comes to decorating and stuff. Because I am not as much about the scary, creepy decor for Halloween, for example. And I know we're here in November now, but what I like to do is harvest and fall and leaves and do pumpkins and oranges and reds and that sort of thing. And I keep it up to Thanksgiving too, because it works for October and November. Yeah. And so it's kind of like a lazier way. I'm being a little sneaky and having to do less, but moms do less.
I have a lot of hybrid decorations, is what I'm going to call them, where they work.
What is hybrid decorations?
Where kind of like what you're saying.
Okay.
Right? But like you can have it work for more than one holiday.
Okay.
So that you can put in like one amount of effort. And like a lot of some of my Halloween decorations, for example, are straight up spooky. Where it's like, all right, that totally wouldn't go. But I have a good amount of just pumpkins and leafy things, like you said, and general fall stuff that's blended in with all of my Halloween. So that when Halloween's over, I just remove the spiders and the bats and the creepy things. And then I have all the decorations still up. Yeah, like a harvesty theme, like you said. But then I would say... then we keep that up through Thanksgiving. And traditionally, it's been a tradition in my family that Black Friday, so the day after Thanksgiving, we put up our Christmas tree.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
And so that's always been a tradition. So it's super fun. And Ira and I have even thrown the spin on watching The Grinch after it's all set up. And really like jumping into that Christmas spirit. And then I like to leave the tree up through the new year.
I do too. Oh my gosh,
Me
I'm so
too.
glad I'm not alone on that. It's such a thing for certain people to be like, don't bring in the old into the new year. I'm like, I don't care. It's pretty.
I'm like, I want the magic of Christmas all year, okay?
Yes. Hannah, you do the same?
I do. We don't decorate for the holidays over there, and I definitely don't get trick-or-treaters. The only, like, as far as like Easter, we don't decorate for, but we celebrate it. Jason's grandma told me that they celebrate Halloween, but it's still a myth to me. I haven't disproved it yet. I only just now saw my very first Halloween decorations. The big store in town already has Christmas decorations up.
Oh, wow.
They don't really do like, I think it's mostly Americans who come and influence that. Like they might celebrate Halloween and Thanksgiving still, but when it comes to Christmas, we deck out. We put lights everywhere. We have multiple Christmas trees, and they do stay up through the new year.
Oh,
how cool.
Christmas
Are there any other
paradise.
differences with DR and America?
I think there's a lot more holidays. I just don't know them.
Gotcha.
It's always a party there.
The first year me and Jason had moved there, then some family would be off of work one day and just come by the house and swing by and just to hang out. And we were like asking, do you not have work today, or what's going on? Are you playing sick? And they said, no, it's a holiday. What do you mean? I have the day off from work. And we felt as if that was happening every other week sometimes.
Really?
We were asking each other, how many holidays do they have here?
I love it.
They're like, it's the third week in the month. The month's almost over. Let's have a holiday.
In December, a lot of people like kind of just slack off at work or whatever. It's like just a time there's parties everywhere. You hear music in the air, and I don't know. In general, I just get the vibe that December is a chill month. Don't expect to get stuff done with your businesses in December. They're based in Dominican Republic.
That's so funny.
What was your prep like in the States? like getting into what was it you called it? Holiday tingles,
The
Lauren?
holiday tingles.
Holiday tingles. I would always help my mom decorate. I still do if I'm in town
Oh,
in like November and stuff. But I love getting together to pick out a tree. My mom loved having live trees. She only recently switched to artificial, but we would go pick out a tree together or go out to dinner or something and then come back home and at least get the tree set up. But then at least over the next couple days or few days, the lights would go on it, the ornaments, we'd have music or movies or something, or try to make a deal of it.
I'm glad you mentioned movies because I do actually think that's a big part of it for me too. Whether it's Halloween movies like
yeah.
Hocus Pocus,
Hocus Pocus.
and
Gotta watch
Halloween
Hocus
Town. Yes. And then all the classic Christmas ones. I think
Yeah.
that really gets the holiday tingles going for me.
I love it.
I'm in thinking about decorating. It's going to be interesting. She's done well with the fall stuff being up, but Christmas, I feel like my daughter is going to be so tempted because she wasn't walking. Her first Christmas came and went. And so it's going to be interesting to see because I was like, oh man, some of my decorations are lower cabinets I'll decorate in the kitchen and stuff. I'm like, oh dang, she can reach all that. I got to rethink some of these things.
You're going to have to decorate just like half of your tree, like the top half of your tree.
like they do with the cats.
Yes. Or you know what my mom did when we were little? She actually had these cute little ornament bells. And so she said she would always put like the non-breakable ornaments lower. So if we did knock something off, it wouldn't be something that would break. And then she had these little bells hidden in. So if she was not paying attention for some reason and she heard a bell, she's like, oh snap, they're touching the tree.
Your mom is the best. She literally thinks of everything.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to think of something similar. That's perfect.
Yeah, and they look cute on the tree, honestly. I mean, with all the branches and stuff, they don't stick out a ton depending on how big they are. Like they were, I mean, round wise, maybe the size of a nickel or less. So they were very small little bells, but enough to alert mama, you know?
I'm doing that. Yes, Lynn, I am stealing this idea. I'm going to have to copy.
Yes.
In what we're saying, I'm hearing a lot of memories and continued traditions. And I feel like those types of things are the energy that we crave when we think of a joyful holiday or something to feel gratitude for. And sometimes it even means creating new traditions and memories and things that you can create. That is what I want to emphasize. You can create exactly the holiday that you want to experience.
Yes.
Perfectly said.
And going off of what you said, it makes me think about the magic or like the feelings that we feel around the holidays is something that you were highlighting a little bit there and how we can create the holiday that we want. Well, I also wanted to touch on before we wrap up. Sometimes people experience the post-holiday blues. It's over. Oh no, I'm so sad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I had heard something recently where they were like, think about the feelings that you enjoy the most about those holidays. So again, playing off of the last thing you said, think about what you enjoy most or what brings you that feeling of magic. Because for me, the holidays are very magical. So reflecting on the things that you enjoy the most, and then think about how you can create that in your life outside of the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Because it might be like a focus point that the holidays always create, but get creative. How can you create that outside of the holidays so that you can tap into that joy, that magic, whatever it is for you?
I like that. Make it Christmas every day of the year.
Exactly.
You totally made me think of how my house just feels so bare and naked after all the decorations come down.
Yes. Yeah. And
I've heard people experiencing that after weddings too.
with like
because of all the prep
the
and
hype.
all the hype around it.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
I
sense.
could see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, think about what that magic is for you and figure out how to bring it into your everyday life.
Amen, girl. Well, in the spirit of the season, we are so grateful you chose to spend time with us today. And this was somewhat of a loose holiday survival guide. So if you survive the holidays, let us know. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and always trust in your own bestie perspective.